sorry to announce that today's a sad day in the history of the Boston Fire Department. We had a serious fire on Beacon Street that resulted in 2 members losing their lives. There were 13 members injured. It's a sad day for us, for the city of Boston. And our hearts go out to the families. Thoughts and prayers are with them. And it's just a tragic day for everybody involved in this event. Anyone have any ask?
On the injured.
Yeah.
On the injured.
The incident commander will discuss that. After I finish, I want to bring the mic over to the mayor. He has some words on behalf of the city.
Thank you, Commissioner. And the Commissioner stated it. Today's a sad day for the city of Boston. We lost 2 heroes here today. It makes me proud to be mayor of the city of Boston after watching the way the men and women of the Boston Fire Department work today. These 2 heroes went into a burning building, got people out of the building. It brought me back to when I was, a couple weeks ago, I went to the graduating class of 51 young people, young firefighters in the city of Boston. And as they were getting penned, I thought about, would they retire? Would they be retiring? Today, the 2 firefighters that lost their life in this fire weren't part of that class, but at one point they were young firefighters. My heart also goes out to the families of these 2 firefighters and the entire firefighting community in the city of Boston and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. It's unfortunately, it takes a tragedy for us to appreciate the work that the men and women of the Boston Fire Department do. And again, I want to thank them. Today's just a sad day in the city of Boston. No, not today. I'd like to ask now Chief Joe Finn to come to the microphone to talk a little bit about fire. And after Joe, Richie Paris, the president of the Firefighters Group of 718.
Well, my name is Deputy Chief Joseph Jensen, Fire. Fire came in around 2:45 this afternoon. The first 2 companies have all arrived, and they put smoke showing. There are people trapped on upper floors. The fire escalated very quickly. The members went into a rescue mode. They actually saved a number of occupants in the upper floors of the building. My speculation is this was the wind-driven effect of what we've all been dealing with the last day or so, had a dramatic impact on the extent and how quick this fire traveled. At 30 years, I've never seen a fire travel that fast, escalate that quickly, and create such havoc in such a short period of time. The wind was blowing in off the chowers, it drove the fire, and everything with it, all the precautions in front of the building, where engine 33, which were the 2 members were assigned, were trying to make headway on a fire which appeared to start in the basement. It's a very fast-moving fire. The weather conditions certainly played a major role in the fire. Once again, I commend them, the members, because they did save a number of people in this building today.
Chief, can you talk about the firefighters?
The 2 firefighters who lost their lives today was Lieutenant Dan Walsh, number 33, and firefighter Michael Kennedy, also number 33.
Can you tell us about them, what kind of guys they were?
They actually been working on my group. I think Lieutenant Walsh, I've known for a number of years. Very competent fire officer. Took his men under his wing, and he's very hands-on. We did locate Lieutenant Walsh in the basement by the cellar stairs. He was finally recovered. Mr. Kennedy was also in the basement. Okay. It appears that they went in with their line. The fire was originated in the basement. They went in with the line, and they made their way up the front stairs and down the interior cellar stairs. Apparently, the investigation, this will all unfold in the investigation. Apparently went down the interior cellar stairs where the main bar and fire was. And I'm making an assumption here that one of the windows or whatever broke out front with the fire active. Because they called a mayday in a very short period of time. They weren't in the building. I would say, again, the investigation will pan this out. They weren't in the building more than 2 or 3 minutes when they ordered a mayday that they were trapped. Their aggressive action help keep that so we get the rest of the occupants out of the upper floors.
When were they removed? When were they removed? Immediately or was it after you?
Firefighter Kennedy was located probably a good half hour into the fire. We realized that we had people missing. And then probably less than a half an hour ago, we made the recovery of Lieutenant Walsh. Lieutenant Walsh. There's some burns, certainly musculoskeletal injuries. There was an explosion, what we call a backdraft, that people are familiar with, occurred. Again, that was all wind-driven. Occurred in front of the building. A number of companies were trying to egress to get into the building to perform some tactical operations. And we had an explosion out front, a number of people blown down the stairs.
How old were these firefighters?
That I'm not particularly sure of. Yes, Lieutenant Walsh had in their 30s.
Both in their 30s?
Yes.
They have families to attend?
Yes, I'll let President Keith address that. It's very tough. I mean, they have 30 years of experience. I've never seen anything that's moved so fast. So quickly. People trapped that fast. No, it wasn't. The call came in, box was struck. They called off, they had smoke shown, and within a couple minutes, they were trapped in the building. And as Ladder 15 and the other companies were performing rescues on the upper floors.
Joe, you had to fight this fire several hours knowing that the lieutenant was down in that basement.
Yes, we did. We weren't going to commit any more resources. The situation tough call, but we weren't going to do it.
Talk about that call, you have guys volunteering to go in
You know, Boston firefighters are very professional. They understood it. They knew what they needed to do. They performed their task miraculously. And we had to make a couple decisions on what we were going to do. We went to a defensive position, moved everybody out, made sure everybody else was accounted for. Once we were assured who was missing, we were able to adjust our tactics. That I'm not sure. Well, the building's in total loss.
Do you know how many units were there?
I don't know how many units.
Firefighters last night, sorry.
My fight, Michael Kennedy. In April.
Chief, can you just repeat one more time what you said about the possible window?
That's an assumption on my part, and hopefully the investigation will rely on that all. But again, if having some experience and understanding how fire travels, it comes with a dynamic. That fire was from the front, it was blowing like a blowtorch out the front. From the rear to the front.
What started this?
That's under investigation. Pure speculation.
Boston police investigating that?
Boston Police Department in conjunction with the Boston firefighters and fire investigation.
Anything suspicious?
Most sudden deaths aren't treated as crime scene, but I don't believe this is the accidental death of two firefighters. I don't have any reason to believe there's any criminal intent. But that also needs to be vetted through the investigation process.
Anything suspicious about the fire?
Not at this time. The only thing, again, that I'd say suspicious was the rate of traffic. It's just the fire developed so quick. And I think that, again, goes towards
You said the other injuries, the other firefighters. How many other firefighters?
13,
13. In addition to
the two fatalities.
burns,
Burns, musculoskeletal, broken bones. As I did explain to you, there was a backdraft explosion in front of the building. So we're trying to do this, go into our search mode to fight.
nothing more life-threatening though?
Not to my knowledge.
How much after the entry?
There is another unit in the basement. I'm not quite sure. We haven't been able to access it. Okay, the only people we allowed in the building was to go in and to research, to recover Lieutenant Walsh and everybody back out. So the investigation will unfold into what was in the basement.
How long after the initial entry that backdraft
I'd be speculating on it that it happened rather quickly. We were trying to make an offensive attack in the basement to try to locate the two firefighters when the Again, you could tell by the boiling of the smoke through our training that it was coming toward the front of the building.
That was then cause an explosion with some of the firefighters from back.
Yes.
That's when they had to get up.
Yes.
No, not yet. I know Garris, the president, did. I was at Zoom City. Lieutenant Walsh was out there and he's going to get
Mayor Walsh, where were you on the fire?
I was in my office and I got a phone call. Actually, I got a phone call from the president saying that we have a 4-alarm on Beacon Street. He was calling us back and the phone went to voicemail, and a few minutes later, somebody from my office came in and said there's a fire on Beacon Street. Response to 9 alarms, there's 2 firefighters trapped and people jumping in the car.
Did Mike Kennedy, he die at the fire or did he die at the hospital?
Temperature, taken out of the building, touching. Try to work on him, Nurse General.
He was alive.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's a very sad day in the city of Boston for the citizens, the firefighters, men and women of the Boston Fire Department, along with the state and our international firefighters. It's something that none of us want to see. The deputies and the mayor, it's a very sad day. I knew Michael Kennedy. I was with him last night with the Burns convention that's in town, and I knew Eddie Walsh also. 2 great firefighters. And as the deputy said, all those firefighters that work here today, people were saved for their actions that they did in this fire today. Citizens were saved. And that's what we do. We sacrifice our life for the citizens of the city of Boston. That's what Michael Kennedy, firefighter Michael Kennedy, and Lieutenant Eddie Walsh did today. I'm very proud of the firefighters today that worked hard. I'm very proud of firefighter Walsh, firefighter Kennedy, great guys. I've met with their families. One of the hardest things that a president ever has to do, a commissioner and the mayor have to do with a family. I would just like to say if we could keep our prayers for the family and let them have peace right now. It's a tough shape for them. Again, I want to thank everybody that worked hard at this fire today. The men and women of the Boston Fire Department, Boston Police, the State Police, and Boston EMS, everybody together. The nurses at the hospital and the doctors. Personally want to thank them very much for the hard work to try to save our brother firefighters. My heart goes out to the families, and just please keep them in their prayers. Thank you.
Can you tell us just about the
Lieutenant Walsh is married with 3 kids under the age 10. He's 3.
where did he work and how long did he work?
He was on Boylston Street. Stephen McDonald can give you all that information now. And Michael Kennedy was also on the job for a while too.
Is he married to his kids?
He can, Stephen can get that. My name is Richard Harris, president of the Boston Firefighters. 718.
I'll just give you the particulars. I also want to thank City Councilor Josh Zankum, District Minister. I want to thank him for stopping by. I'll just give you some statistical. It's Lieutenant Edward J. Walsh.
Down in front? Come on, down in
Assigned to
front.
Engine 33 up here on Boylston Street at the Prudential Center. He was married, had 3 children, 2 boys, 1 girl, all under age 10. He's 43 years old. He's been on the Boston Fire Department for 9.5 years. Firefighter Michael R. Kennedy, 33 years old, single. Michael lived in Hyde Park. I'll go back. Lieutenant Walsh lived in West Roxbury. Michael lived in Hyde Park. He was single. He was a combat veteran of the U.S. Marines, and he's been assigned to Ladder 15 up here at the Prudential Center, and he's been on the job for 6.5 years. This fire came in at 2:43 p.m. four-story brick brownstone. It's 4 stories on the Beacon Street side. When you go on the back alley at Back Street, it's actually 5 stories. When the chiefs were talking about basement, it's actually a walkout basement. If you come in from the back, you walk into it. And that's where, as I said, we had 13 firefighters to the hospital. In addition, firefighter Kennedy was rescued from the scene, brought to Mass General, and he was pronounced at Mass General. Firefighter Walsh was pronounced at the scene. He was recovered by firefighters. Very solemn ceremony we follow where the firefighters he works with, the firefighters who injured 33 and ladder 15, are actually the ones that recover Lieutenant Walsh. They put him on the stretcher and they carry him out. We're not aware of any life-threatening injuries to those that were injured.
And how many people were rescued and saved today?
I don't know. You know, it's hard to get a head count. We do know there were initial reports of people trapped on the 4th floor, but they